Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, December 5th, 2021. Thanks so much for tuning in. I would love it if you would subscribe and share it with those that you love. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, I've been a professional psychic since 1988. Next month, in January, that'll be 34 years I've been doing professional psychic readings. Kind of hard to believe. I can't be that old, certainly. But I use a non-traditional tarot deck and I channel with it, which means the information just comes through. I'm also an empath, so I'll feel in my body what's going on for the other person. And I'm a medium, so people's loved ones will whisper in my ear at some point. I also use the astrology and look at the transits when I'm doing a reading. So if you came to get a private reading with me, I would start with your astrology chart, which you have to know the time and place of your birth to have a full chart. We all have all 12 signs in our astrology chart. Each sign will rule a different house. The astrology chart is divided like a pie into 12 different pieces, and each house is a different piece of the pie. And each house represents a different aspect of your life, and each sign will be ruling a certain aspect of your life. And so, even if you don't have planets in a particular house, you'll still have a sign affecting and influencing that house. So, astrology runs deep. So, if you'd like to know more about your personal chart, you can contact me for a reading. So, I start looking at an astrology chart and a reading, and then I always look at the current transits, which is like knowing what the weather report is and how that may be affecting you. If the transiting planets are interacting with your planets, you're going to feel the transits more strongly. And then I usually do a general tarot reading without you asking me anything. I just look and see what's going on in your life, what the overall big picture is, what your conscious focus is, underlying issues that could be coming up, karmic patterns that are at play. Past life information will often hit for me when I'm doing readings. I look at the recent past, near future, the environment, hopes and fears, and a trajectory of the outcome. Now, the future is not set in concrete, it's not destined. We're creating the future by what we're doing today. And readings are really more about getting clear about right now. So that's just a little bit about what I do. I also offer past life regressions in private sessions, rebirthing, which is a process of coached breath work, and psychic development instruction for those of you that want to work on developing your own abilities. And I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuition, intuitive abilities. They show up differently for different folks. So, and they all can be developed and become stronger, just like you can have latent musical abilities if you don't pick up an instrument and practice, or if you don't learn to sing or beat a drum, they'll never be developed. So we all have latent psychic abilities and you can develop them. They can become stronger. FYI. So as usual, I'm going to talk about the transits for this week, what's going to be going on in the astrological skies and how that may be influencing you this week. Then I'll go and do mini readings for all 12 signs. And so take a look. I'll put timestamps below this video. Take a look at your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, and then if you have a stellium, 3 or more planets in a sign. And how do you know this information? You know it by the time and place of your birth. And you can go to astro.com, astro.com, register for free and plug in your birth data and know what those aspects are. There's lots that you can do for free on that site. And if you want to subscribe to an astrological service that's fabulous, I recommend SiriusJoy.com, Sirius, Sirius like the star, SiriusJoy.com. First month is just $3.99, so $4 for your first 30 days to try it out to see if you like it. Then it's $20 a month after that. Well worth it. It's chocked full of all kinds of great things. So that's for those of you who want to start learning more about astrology, because it is a vast science. So I'm going to be studying till the day I die, I'm sure, learning new things about astrology. So right now, the sun's at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius rules the ninth house in astrology. So it's about foreign travel. It's about learning and knowledge of all kinds. It's ruled by Jupiter, which expands things, and it expands our thirst for knowledge, our thirst to understand things, our spiritual quest. It's also about our belief systems, what we believe to be true. So anytime planets are transiting through Sagittarius, these things are heightened. In the mid decan of Sagittarius, this is about our relationship with the world around us and other people. So the sun in Sag at the mid decan, which it will be all week long, and the decans are 0 to 9 is the first decan, 10 to 19 is the second decan, and then 20 to 29 is the third. So first decan is usually about our relationship to ourselves. Second decan, like I said, others, environment. Third decan is about the future and where we're going. So the sun in the second decan this week puts the attention on what do we believe to be true about our relationship to the world around us? What do we believe to be true about our relationships? What do we believe to be true about our work and our potential with that? What do we believe other people believe about us? Like, so these things can be highlighted this week with the sun moving through this decan. You can even have spiritual belief systems and what other people believe sort of be brought into the light. I've already been seeing that, so I'm catching a YouTube video or whatever. It's like spiritual beliefs seem to be highlighted this week. Spiritual paths seem to be highlighted. So we also have Mercury in the second decan. Mercury rules our head, our thinking, and our communication. So again, there's more emphasis on communication between other people when we have Mercury in the second decan of Sag, and it's conjunct the sun. The sun illuminates, the sun's our heart. So Mercury and the sun have been traveling pretty close together for a while now. So it's asking us to check in with our heart. Are our thoughts and our heart aligned? Another thing that highlights this kind of aspect, the nodes are in Gemini and Sagittarius. So the South Node is where we release things. We have karmic patterns that we're releasing, belief systems that we're releasing. The North Node is what we're learning, direction. In Gemini, it's what we've been learning about communication and our thinking, social media, all the things that Mercury rules, because Mercury rules Gemini. So and the nodes move backwards. Most of the planets, unless they're retrograde, move from 0 to 29. The nodes move from 29 to 0. So they're at 1. So it takes a year and a half for the nodes to run through a sign. And again, the North Node's been running through Gemini for the last year and a half almost. The nodes will switch signs in January. So we're going to be switching to a whole new theme for the following year and a half. So the nodes will switch, the North Node will move into Taurus and the South Node will move into Scorpio, and we'll have whole new lessons on deck. So at 1 degree, 1 is about what we love and is our thinking aligned with self-love. That's one of the ways I put that together. And so right now with the nodes at 1, and it'll be at 1 through the rest of December, it highlights our thoughts and are our thoughts loving towards ourselves, primarily because it's in that first decan. And then releasing 1 in Sag, releasing anything that's not positive, releasing old belief systems, stinky thinking about ourselves, things that aren't lovable, people in our lives that aren't lovable are being released. With the South Node energy. So that's another backdrop that kind of highlights a similar energy as because the Sag theme has been going on for a while. Sag and Gemini theme has been going on for a while. The moon right now is in Capricorn. It crossed over Pholus and Juno this morning. So these are asteroids. I won't go too much into them because it's already past that. So the moon will be moving tomorrow, Monday, into the second decan of Capricorn. Then it'll be moving late tomorrow or into Tuesday into the third decan, where it will cross Venus and Pluto. So Venus and Pluto are in Capricorn right now. So Pluto is at 25 degrees of Capricorn. 2 is I feel, and 5 is I think. And when you put it together, it makes a 7, and it's about spiritual psychic alignment. So Pluto is the planet that represents death and transformation. It's also power and control. In Capricorn, Capricorn usually rules the 10th house. It's the house of the father, the patriarch, the leader, the ruler, our government. And so Pluto, wherever Pluto is transformative. It's like a wrecking ball, changing things up. Whatever comes close to Pluto will be transformed. And right now, Venus is close to Pluto. Venus is at 23 degrees, so it's 2 degrees off. So, and Venus will conjunct, meaning be exactly at 25 degrees this coming Saturday. It's going to be conjunct Pluto all month long. Now, conjunct is anything within 10 degrees. Anything within 7 degrees, we start to really feel. And then the closer the degree point, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or at the same point, we're really going to feel it activated strongly. So all month long, Venus is conjunct Pluto. Venus will go retrograde on December 19th. So any planet, as it starts to change directions, starts slowing down. So Venus is already starting to slow down. She'll cross over Pluto at 25 degrees. She'll only get to 26 degrees at the point where she stops and turns around, and they'll go back over Pluto again. And she'll go all the way back for a while till the end of January. She's retrograde. So Venus retrograde brings in past life connections. It's a review over what Venus represents. Who we love, what we love, how we receive energy. It's also our money. So there's going to be a lot of transformation in relationships this month because of this close connection between Venus and Pluto. So we already feeling that. You may be already feeling this in your life. You may be having issues come up if you're in relationship. Well, I mean, everybody's in relationship of some sort of fashion. Venus is all kinds of relationships, not just your primary lover, but it is love relationships as well. And it's our money. So there can be transformation going on, and transformation can be positive change and it can be negative, right? It's going to be changing from something to another. And again, Venus close to Pluto will change what your relationships look for almost everybody. You're going to find some dramatic change when it comes to some relationship that you're having this month. So there's going to be a lot of endings of relationships, like no more. Pluto, again, destroyer, is going to cut like no more, I'm not going to do this anymore. So if you've been struggling in a relationship, that could very easily reach a head this month, and you're just like, oh, I'm done. You can also have new people coming in that are transformative in your life. I feel like the best relationships help you transform, right? So it can be a positive aspect as well. So there can be new relationships coming in, and especially once Venus turns retrograde, December 19th, it'll be retrograde all through January. It's like a window, a portal for past life people to come in. That's been my experience. Every time Venus is in retrograde, no matter what sign it's in, I run into people that I know I have past life connections with. And past life connections can run the gamut as well. They're going to be past life lovers, your old father, your old mother, old siblings, old enemies. Like, it's the past life, it's not just one thing. People will bring, oh, well, I know we've had a past life together. I'm like, do you know what that past life was? It's good. It's important information. Just because someone feels familiar doesn't mean it was a positive relationship or it ended well. In some past life connections, when you meet someone, you feel like you're picking up where you left off, right? So if you want to dive more deeply into your past life connections, see me, I can help you with that. So definitely relationship transformation and financial transformation is the theme of the month. Also, because the United States Pluto is at 27 degrees and the transiting Pluto is at 25, it's 2 degrees off. We're having in the United States what is called a Pluto return. So death and transformation, power and control, meeting up with death and transformation, power and control. It's like a major war. 2 demolition crews activated by each other, right? So what we're having is this old patriarchal paradigm, the white man with the power and the money ruling the world that old paradigm is being brought to its knees. So wherever that old paradigm is showing up, it's being tested, it's coming to a head all over the place. Now, Pluto will have 3 exact conjunctions with the United States Pluto next year. The first one is in February. There's another one in June, and I believe another one in December. So all year long, 2022 is going to be about Pluto return. You're going to hear this over and over and over again. If you tune into any other astrologers, we are already under this influence. We've already been experiencing. And even in our personal lives, people with power and control can be vying to try to manipulate or have power over you. And depending, once again, where Capricorn is in your chart will affect like where you see it show up. What aspect of your life do you see this transformational energy showing up? So wherever Pluto is in your birth chart is where you came in to transform things in a powerful way. And where it's transiting now is where you're currently experiencing it. And it takes Pluto a while to completely transit a sign, and it starts moving into Aquarius in 2024. So then it'll start a whole new long-term theme with the issues of Aquarius, and I'll talk about that as that gets closer to it. Right now, we're wrapping up for the next couple of years this Pluto and Capricorn energy. So, and I believe that Aquarius is about humanity and everybody having power. Power, like everybody's important, and that's one of the things. So instead of just the people, the white man with the power and the money ruling and controlling everything, I believe that paradigm is going to be changing. So we could see our government really having some major transformation. We will see our government having major transformation happening. And we maybe get tested in ways that are negative at first, but when it's all said and done, that's going to all flesh out and we're going to be going into a whole new paradigm. So that's what I'm hopeful about. But when the towers of Babel are falling, it's not going to feel good. The United States Pluto rules the second house, which is our money, our banking, our currencies, the stock market, our food, how we store things of all kinds, how we store our food, our clothes, our values. So all these in the United States are going to be being transformed. So we could have issues in our food supply. We could have issues with our bank and currency. Banks could go belly up, stock market. Like we already have seen a shift from cash. How many times you walk in a place and it says card only, that they won't accept cash anymore. And now we've got, all these alternative forms of transferring money, Bitcoins and the such. And then since Pluto has moved into Capricorn in the United States second house, all these online ways of transferring money have come onto the scene, Venmo and PayPal and Cash App and all that. All that has come about since Pluto moved into Capricorn, which is the United States second house. So that's just ways that it's showing up. And so it's wrapping up these lessons in Capricorn of the last couple of years. So I really predict that next year is going to be the most transformative year we've experienced to date. Even though the last 2 years have been crazy, yeah, we haven't seen nothing like it. What we're heading into. Pluto has a 250-year cycle, so we haven't had a Pluto return here in the United States. And people ask, well, how's that going to affect the rest of the world? We're the leader of the world. So whatever happens here in the United States affects the entire planet. So that's some backdrop energy that's going on as well. So Mars is in the last decan of Scorpio right now. Right now, Mars is at 24 degrees. It will actually be sextiling Pluto tomorrow. So this is a positive connection. It's also sextiling Venus. So there can be this getting clear about your direction. How Mars is about your ego, how you put energy into things, how you take action. In Scorpio, it has a tendency to make us all want to dive deep. Scorpio is the deep, dark waters. It's super psychic. So it's easier to get intuitive hits on things that are deep or take action to dive deep within yourself. And maybe you want to do deep meditation, do some deep level therapy, things, this can be where you've been pulled as as Mars has been moving through Scorpio. And in this last decan of Scorpio, it's really about how we want our future, where we want to take action that will affect how our future shows up. So, and following our intuition and taking action based on intuition is easier to do when we've got planets in Scorpio. Scorpio is one of the most intuitive signs. So this sextile between Pluto can bring transformation into how we take action. Let's see what else we have. Mercury is squaring Neptune on Tuesday. So Mercury, the planet of communication and our thinking, squaring. This is a challenging aspect with Neptune. Now, Neptune is at 20 degrees of Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Pisces is super spiritual and super psychic. Neptune is the psychic radar. So put together, on the high end, and every planet and every sign has positives and negatives. So the positives of Neptune are psychic downloads, spiritual connection, right? Being able to have your intuitive abilities heightened, dreams vivid. On the downside, it can be illusion, delusion, addiction. So when you have a square, it has a tendency to bring out the negative ends of things. So, and Neptune just went direct this last week. It was retrograde. So now it's moved forward. So we're like moving online, but I've been super tired. I don't know if any of y'all I've had trouble sleeping. So that can often happen when there's activity with Neptune, because Neptune rules our sleep. So Mercury squaring with Neptune, you can have someone who's lying to you, deception, Neptune, and your thinking is like, well, that doesn't feel right. So you could have negative things heightened, your own thinking. You could have this extra pull to your addictive tendencies, especially when you might start thinking about things that are your addictive patterns with this next. Deception, though, seems to be the hallmark word that's coming to me about the square on Tuesday. So watch out for ways you're deluding yourself, you're deceiving yourself, or where someone else might be deceiving or not being truthful with you. Also that day, the sun is opposed to Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is an asteroid that represents our deepest fears. Wherever Black Moon Lilith is in your birth chart is where you have deep fears. And again, fears are false evidence appearing real. It's where we have leftover fears from past lives that can be like a weak link where we just like get triggered easily. These aspects are meant to be healed, and once something's healed, it becomes a place of great strength. But right now, Black Moon Lilith is in Gemini, and the sun will be opposing that. So an oppositional it's like a tug of war, and the sun illuminates, so it can be really bringing up deep fears. And again, that's mid-decan fears about how we show up for other people, how other people show up for us, what they think about us, what we believe to be true about them. Those fears, I don't believe people like me, or those kind of things could easily be brought to the surface on Tuesday. So check yourself. It may just feel like kind of wiggy on Tuesday because of the Mercury square Neptune and the sun opposing Black Lilith. So if you just feel kind of weird and wiggy on Tuesday, you may know why. Now, and again, I say this every time, but just because aspects are exact on certain days, we can feel them ahead of time, we can feel them afterwards. So we just had the solar eclipse this couple days ago, so we're still in the wake of the solar eclipse too. We feel eclipses for 6 months. So we had the solar eclipse at 12 degrees of Sagittarius. So again, this could bring up new directions. It's a new moon, so new moons are always new beginnings. New beginnings when it comes to our relationship to our beliefs, the world around us. These things are highlighted. Let's see. So Wednesday, we have Mars squaring Neptune. Mars is a planet taking action. Neptune's our beliefs. Jupiter. Mars is squaring Jupiter on Wednesday. So Mars, how we take action. Jupiter is expanding. It's our belief system. So there can be like a come to Jesus into where we feel we should go. And again, with Mars being in Scorpio, we just may have our intuition expanded as well. And it can, Jupiter expands things, it makes things bigger. When you get into a square, it's a conflict between, it could be a conflict between what we've been told to believe and where we want to go, where we want to take action. So that's one way it could show up. Black Moon Lilith moves to 16 degrees from 15 degrees on Thursday. So it moves to a new sign that makes to a 7. So this can be bringing up fears around our spiritual beliefs and our what we believe to be true about psychic abilities, our own intuition. A lot of people have been trained to believe through religious upbringing or programming that psychic thing is of the devil. Psychic abilities, psychic things, psychic are of the devil. It's not true. Intuition is connection to your higher self. It's connection to the divine. So, but people are afraid of it nonetheless. Can be. Fears can prevent you from tapping into something that could really benefit you in all kinds of ways. Venus conjoins Pluto on Saturday. So this is where it really feels intense. And it kind of hangs out with Pluto for a week after that. I mean, like I said, it's going to be close to Pluto all month long. So this, again, we could have deaths, literal deaths could happen with people we love, could be happening. There can be the death of things we love. It's definitely transformational energy in a potent, powerful way. Pluto can also be protest, like people standing up for their rights. And, so there could be coming to a head in relationships with people that you love, but you disagree, and those disagreements could just get gnarly and extra intensive, especially with Mars squaring Jupiter. Mars is the god of war as well, so it can expand this kind of volatile energy. Mercury squaring Neptune, then Mars squaring Jupiter, the conjunction of Venus and Pluto. It's just, things could feel stirred up this week on a lot of levels. So if you're feeling a little bit cray, just know this too shall pass, right? These aspects always change. And the sun is squaring Neptune next Sunday. So there's, again, this heightening this illusion addiction energy that's kind of going on. So with this extra heightened transformative energy on the planet, can make people want to run and hide, right? Like, I just want to avoid this. Again, the pull to addiction can be strong, that Neptune energy. And not everybody wants to head straight into transformation. A lot of people are like, no, I want it to stay the same. We're all being forced to transform in some way with this conjunction between Venus and Pluto. It's going to show up differently for everybody depending on where Capricorn shows up in your chart. So let me just go over that a little bit. So if you have Capricorn ruling your first house, meaning you're a Capricorn rising, you could have other planets there as well. This is about how you show up in the world, how other people see you. It's how your life is being highlighted. So if you have Pluto in your first house, you can find that major aspects about how you show up. You could have some changes in your physical body. You could have, lose a bunch of weight. You could gain a bunch of weight. You could decide you're going to do a Madonna and change up your appearance. These are just certain ways it could show up if you've got Pluto in the first house. If Pluto is transiting your second house right now, like the United States has, I already went over that. It could transform your finances, your money, how you perceive income, your values could be transformed. Third house is about communication, networking, your siblings, your neighbors. So Pluto could be transforming these areas in your life. You could be, if communication's the third house, you may want to write your book now, or you may already been writing it because it's been transiting Capricorn for a while. So if you've got this in the third house, you may be then writing in a journal, or maybe hitting off more emails, or you may just find it showing up, or you may like move to social media to promote yourself, because that's all third house stuff. It could be changing up what you're doing in terms of your communication. If you've got Capricorn in the fourth house represents home, family, your mother. So you could have transformation going on in your home life with your children, with your mother. These are all ways that these could be transformed, right? Fifth house is about creativity, children, romance. So Pluto could be transforming your, you could be having children coming in, lovers going out, children going out. Since it's creativity, you could all of a sudden have started to decide to play a new instrument, learn something new, decide to take dance lessons, art classes, whatever, or change your, like, I was a dancer, now I'm going to be an artist, or I was an artist and now I'm going to be a musician. Like that, those kind of changes could be happening. I had no love, now I'm turning poly. It could be another way that Pluto could change up if you've got Capricorn ruling your fifth house. Sixth house is about health, service, your daily grind, your daily work. So if Pluto is transiting your sixth house, you could have major health things come up. You could have all of a sudden be compelled to volunteer, to maybe you're helping a parent now or a child, it's the house of service. You could change up what you're doing for work with Pluto going through your sixth house. If Pluto is transiting your seventh house, this is the house of relationships. Love relationships could come in and out. Friendships can come in and out. Work relationships come in and out. It's also the house of open enemies. So people who will tell you to your face they don't like you. So that could be coming, and you could transform this area. Maybe you've all your life dealt with people telling you they hate you, and all of a sudden that shifts, and now you have people that really love you, or vice versa. That's just ways that it can show up. And again, it's different from everybody. And if you've got planets in any of these houses, it's going to be then acting with whatever those planets are as well. Eighth house is the house of sex and psychic things and money we receive from other people. So Pluto is transiting this house. You may change up your sex life in a major way. You may all of a sudden start getting in touch with and developing your psychic abilities. You have people, loved ones cross. These are examples of the eighth house. Ninth house is foreign travel, higher learning, spiritual development. So you could have been doing a lot of foreign travel. You could have foreigners come into your life, people from other countries coming into your life. You could decide you're going to go back and get your master's or your PhD, or you're going to start studying a new religion or a new spiritual growth path, or you're going to start meditating regularly. These are the transformations that could happen with Pluto transiting your ninth house. 10th house is the house of your father, your mission in this world. So you may change up completely what you thought you were doing. You may have started off at the beginning of this transit going one direction and shifting it completely into a new direction. You could have transformation happening with your father, if he's still on the planet, or yourself as a father. And again, if you're a father, it could be affecting your home, your family. 11th house is the house of networks, connections with other people, our circle of friends. So Pluto transiting this house can really change up the groups you may want to be associated with, who's coming in, coming out of your life in terms of networks, groups. You may go from being super social to being reclusive, or vice versa. You may be hanging out with this people and change it to hang out with your circle of friends could really change. And the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, the unconscious, past lives, institution, jails, death. So you could have yourself or people in your life going in or out of institutions, prisons, mental health hospitals. You could have past life flashbacks starting to come up, deep subconscious, unconscious things surfacing. You may have been diving deeply into therapy. So these are just ways that it could show up, and it's different for everybody. And again, if you have planets in particular houses, it's going to be stirring up the activation of the planets and what they represent. So that's just a little astrology lesson about Pluto. Now I'm going to go to doing readings for all 12 signs. And once again, this is for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, or if you have a stellium, which is 3 or more planets in a particular sign. We'll start with Aries. Actually, I'm going to start with a sip of tea. do the Aries need to know this week? It's about healing for the Aries. So this card, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, healing. So you may be sick and need to tend yourself on a physical level. It could also be about emotional or spiritual healing that you're having. You may have some deep awareness psychologically. This one of the hands is over the head. So you may have some real shifts in your perspective this week, Aries. Healing the way you think about yourself or worrying about what other people think of you. You may heal this aspect. And I mean, Aries can be one of the signs that really doesn't care what other people think about them. But it feels like there's a transformation in your thinking this week, or feeling like you're healing how you talk to yourself or your inner self talk. There's also a hand that's over the gut. So there can be healing of your digestive system, or anything emotionally that you're holding in your gut. You could have healing around that. I'm also seeing the activation of this heart chakra, this lotus flower in the middle. So it feels like there's hope, is what I'm getting, that there's like an opening, a feeling of hopeful about what and who is coming into your life, that it feels like you're readying yourself, you're getting prepared, you're making sure you're in alignment for whatever's coming in. Like you're going to be ready for it, you're not going to miss it, you're going to make sure you're aware, you're psychically aware, you're conscious, you're centered. Aries can, get all fired up about stuff. So this is about being calmer and really grounded this week, is what I'm getting, Aries. So that may be getting into water, it may be doing more breath work, more meditation, but it feels like you're feeling really good this week. This transformation feels like it's happening on a really personal, physical level, and that you're ended up feeling better about yourself on lots of levels this week. You may physically be feeling better, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. I feel like you can take everything to the next level. You may get some great insights into why you may not be feeling all that great emotionally, mentally, physically, and make some tweaks, make some changes that they may be permanent. Venus can also represent self-love. And so transformation in terms of how you love yourself, and are you loving yourself, and are you spending time with self-care? And this card would say, yes, I'm spending time doing self-care this week. So good for you, Aries. Follow that intuition. You may feel more quiet than usual. You may want to like pull away from social things to spend more time being reflective. And if so, that feels really good. Or if you're with other people, it feels like you just feel more centered and calm than usual. So good. All right, Tauruses. The adventure begins. So this is about stepping into the rainbow. You may not know where you're headed, but you can sense where the opening is, where the portal is. There's definitely something new beginning this week, that you're starting something new and you're following the breadcrumbs. You're just going where you feel guided to go. It feels good. The light is there. The energy's there. It feels like your intuition is super on and clear this week. So you can trust your own intuition and follow it into the portal that leads to the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like you're heading into some new adventure that feels very exciting. It's a little child here too. So it feels like your inner child could feel super excited and happy this week, like doing something that would please your inner child. You may need to go swing on a swing set or put on some roller skates and go roller skating, or it feels like you could be doing activity that go fishing that you love to do when you were a small child, pick up instruments and play them. But it feels positive. It feels innocent. It feels sweet. There's a sweet energy, and just exciting, like there's something new beginning this week, or you're being drawn, or you're getting the information to begin something new. So details are coming in, psychic abilities are clear, you're feeling good, feeling happy, feeling joyful this week, Tauruses. Geminis. It's like Geminis have been involved in creative projects. Are you overthinking your creative projects, Geminis? I don't know. That's coming up to me as I shuffle. This is about self-love. This is the maturity card. This is about self-care. So Geminis are ruled by Mercury. They have a tendency to get up in their heads and bat things about between the twins. Gemini's the twins. And so this is about quieting the mind and tuning into the intuition and upping the self-care, like getting into the tub with bath salts, putting on essential oils, getting massage, Reiki, acupuncture, chiropractic care, somewhere you can put yourself into receiving. This may be that you want to spend time alone, just nurturing yourself, or meditating, or writing in your journal, or again, getting these creative, I feel like you may be channeling creative ideas this week too. And so just getting still and quiet and stepping away from other people might be helpful in channeling new songs, or new art projects, or new creative ideas, or, you know, new choreography. There's just a creative energy moving on for sure. And this is just feeling better about yourself. So again, being able to sit and feel positive about you and feel positive about where you are in your process. This is not being like rehashing the past or being too much in the future. This is about really being centered in the now, feeling good, feeling calm, supporting yourself is what this card is about. It's the maturity card. It's like there's a wisening, a wisdom that seems to be coming in. I definitely feel like downloads too psychically can come in. If you quiet your mind this week, you can really get some great insights from spirit, from your higher self, from God, spirit guides that are around this week. So it feels like it's a really beautiful week for some downloads from spirit. They may show up in your dreams. They may have to show up in your dreams. Your active mind can be very loud and noisy, but spiritual practices, breath work, meditation, getting in water, these are different ways that you can just tune into your own intuition and turn up the volume of this self-care this week, and you'll be feeling much better if you do that. All right, Cancers. I'm feeling that Cancers have been overextending themselves for others. This is a normal thing for Cancers to do. The Rebel card. This is about breaking through. This is like this rebel's breaking through chains. So this could be chains of self-limitation where you've told yourself I can't, or I shouldn't, or again, you're usually putting other people first. So to go after something because you feel called to do it, that could be a whole new reality. Also, if someone else tells you you can't do something, like watch me, it's like move out the way. This is getting charged up. You may even have some anger come up. And if some anger comes up, it feels like it's time to take some action to just break through. I always thought it was interesting that the word courage has the word rage in it, because sometimes it's getting pissed off that spurs us into action and motion of some sort. So that could be happening this week. Something could anger you and it just motivates you into taking some action or making some changes in your life. He's carrying this torch, which to me is illumination, is getting insight, being clear. This is not like shooting off blindly out of rage. This is about getting a clear sense of this is the direction I'm headed. I'm holding my light so I can see well. Yeah, this bird to me at his shoulder represents having your spirit guides there with you, encouraging you. It could be loved ones that have crossed over too. You can maybe feel their presence this week in a strong way, whispering in your ear. I feel like you're getting encouraged to get in motion in a new way or continue. Maybe if you've like had you've in a continued journey, you kind of lost some steam. It feels like your motivation stirs back up this week. So either you're continuing something that you've lost the juju for, or you're starting something new and have lots of energy towards it, but it feels like your energy level really kicks in this week. Um, and that you have the energy because it feels like you've been feeling off. So this feels like, okay, this is like on, it's time to go. This is go time. And feeling empowered this week, Cancers. Okay, Leos. Oh, you've got the healing card as well. I pulled this for the Aries. So this is about you healing yourself, putting yourself in the hands of others that are healers. This is the week to go to the doctor, to go get acupuncture, to go get massage, to go get some Reiki, to do healing things for yourself. You may be literally healing something where you maybe get sick and need to lay low, or you just maybe healing your psyche. I feel like you're healing your mind, like just like clearing out some stinking thinking and really healing the way you're thinking about yourself, maybe the way you're thinking about someone else or a situation outside of yourself. So it feels like there's a change in perspective, is what I'm hearing. And healing something that was off and not aligned and feeling like you're getting into alignment this week. Um, I'm really drawn to how much blue is in this card. So it feels like upping the amount of time spent breathing deeply, getting into fresh air as well as water, like soaking in the tub, climbing into a hot tub, standing in the shower more, drinking more water. These all feel like it's important. Pay attention to your diet. Like, are you eating things that are contributing to your health? Are you eating and drinking things that are contributing to your health? Are you eating and drinking things that are contributing to dis-ease? It feels like you may be making a shift around what you're drinking, what you're eating this week to better align yourself with health, um, to care more about this. Feels like it's super important. Uh, you may be helping someone else that is sick. The healing may be coming from your hands and helping others. And I feel like you're getting some deep level insights that are psychologically healing this week, like whether you're getting downloads from spirit or you're having dreams or someone share something with you. It's like an aha, oh, that would be so helpful if I looked at it that way, kind of thing. So I feel like it's a very productive week when it comes to those kinds of things, Leos. All right, Virgos. This is the existence card. So this is about meditation. It's about prayer. It's about realizing that you're a tiny little speck in the grand universe, and what is your part? What can you do? It's about being here now. It's just being about still and centered and getting clear about what your direction is for right now. Not repaying the past, not worrying about the future, but where is everything coming together right now? What do I need to do today? What do I feel guided to do today is sort of the energy I'm feeling behind this card. There's also a shooting star here, so you may have some spiritual information that just comes in. Um, Also, I'm drawn to all the stars, so there also feels like getting out in the night sky feels important. There may be a lot of activity at nighttime this week, Virgos. Um, the shooting star, though, really is coming out strongly. It feels like incoming spiritual information, incoming spiritual data, like something you didn't know or you realize, a big aha or realization may just kind of come in. And this person has gone out in a lotus flower to meditate, to get that insight and spirit. So it may take you sitting down and chanting or praying or doing meditation or breath work to receive some insight you've been needing. Like if you've been frustrated and needing some insight from a higher source, get away from the world, turn off that TV, get off your devices, get away from other media influences and get out in nature, get with yourself so that you can just hear the messages. It feels like your spirit guides want to tell you something, want to give some information, communicate something, and you just have to, like the job of the wide receiver in football is just to go get open. It feels like that's your job this week, is to get open. Put the world down, put the thoughts in your head down, and just go and get open to receive some very insightful new realization aha moments this week, Virgos. All right, Libras. What do the Libras need to know for this week? I need to shuffle the cards in a different way. The Buddha card, our consciousness is coming up for the Libras. So this is about accessing your higher self. Everybody has a Buddha nature. We all have a spiritual self. If you're a Christian, you can call that your Christ self, your higher self, your divine self, whatever you call it. There is a divine wisdom, compassionate, unconditionally loving aspect of yourself that's tapped into the greater divine. And this card says you're accessing that this week. You may get downloads from spirit in a powerful way. They may come when you're sleeping. You may be extra drawn to meditation, chanting, prayer. You may spend extra time doing spiritual practices this week and just relishing in it, just really feeling like that is your spiritual food, that you just want to fill up like Thanksgiving on spiritual food. I'm seeing the stars here too, so there could be something extra active happening at nighttime after the sun goes down. There could be extra activity in your dreams this week. You may be running into other people who are presenting with their Buddha natures that you see, like once you activate and bring that out of yourself, you can see it more in other people, being able to look beyond people's lower selves and see their divine self, see their higher self. And just feel like you're communing with a community of Buddhas. The third eye's light here is on too. So this is definitely intuition, being very strong, being very clear, being able to easily know what you're feeling guided to do on a daily basis. Like, what today do I feel guided to do? Oh, this. And then you're doing that, you're taking action. But there's definitely a lot of spiritual energy that maybe only you notice this week, and maybe not noticeable to anybody around you, but you may feel like the light gets turned on for you in some way, or turned up. Like it went from being a dim little night light to being like bright lights. But there's definitely some enlightenment happening this week for the Libras, so that's exciting. All right, Scorpios. Okay, I'm just going to go with this one that flopped out, which is the transformation card. So you guys are the kings of transformation, right? This has a phoenix rising in this picture. This is one of your totems. The scorpion, of course, is the one that everybody knows about for Scorpio, but phoenix rising is another aspect of the Scorpio energy. And then the eagle, getting perspective on everything down below, is also a Scorpio energy. So this is about really transforming, doing your human revolution, doing what you came here to do, really shifting things, really feel like you move up a couple of notches, like you're learning your lessons, you're getting it, you're like having those aha realizations, you're changing things in a powerful way that feel like they're not coming from ego, but feel like they're coming from higher self. And you may feel like you're getting support from the universe in making these changes. Again, you may have some transformative dreams. This person is asleep too, so or you may feel like you wake up. It may be symbolic of that, that you, all of a sudden something wakes you up, that you see something clearly that you were kind of walking around in a haze about. And now, oh, wait, once you see, you can't go back to not seeing. Your relationships may feel transformed. There can be a death and a rebirth in your relationships this week. It feels exciting, scary too. There's like a scary thing, like as you're going through the portal, it can feel disconcerting, and then it feels liberating once you move through this. There's just a lot going on this week. It feels like you can have your hands in a lot of different things, have a lot of different energies going on. But if you just center yourself, you're going to know exactly what to do on a daily basis. And boy, this feels like a super powerful week for the Scorpios. All right, we'll go to Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. You too have the maturity card. So this is about self-care, self-love, nurturing yourself, following your own intuition, spending more time in solitude, spending more time in spiritual prayer, direction, soaking in the tub, going to get healing work from someone else. I feel like there's, I'm drawn to the flower here that seems like it's encompassing both the third eye and the crown chakra. So I feel like you could really get some downloads from spirit this week. And just the flowers all over. I mean, this may be a time that you receive flowers from someone else. You may go buy yourself some flowers, or maybe working in flower gardens. Your life may just feel like it's flowering in a positive way. New beginnings blooming. Relationships could be starting for you, Sagittariuses. Yeah, it feels good, feels peaceful. Like the person's got their eyes closed, but they've got a smile on. So it feels like it's a good week. Good news is coming in. Just it feels different. It feels like there's been a shift. It's positive. You're feeling good about yourself. Things feel easy. Maybe you don't have to do a lot this week. If maybe you're taking a vacation or some time off, or things just kind of slow down. But there's definitely the ability to nurture yourself and do self-care this week. So what brings you joy? Dive into it, whatever that is, whether that's doing music or art or going to see plays or whatever it is. It feels like follow your own inner voice. Do what brings you joy, what brings you peace and serenity this week, Sagittarius. All right, Capricorns. You guys are the ones that are really having your lives transformed with Pluto there and Venus there. So you may feel this combo of Venus and Pluto together on a very personal level. You may have had your relationships really transformed, new people coming in, people going out. So let's see what else. Completion. So bringing something to an end, like I've had enough of this. This could be something with yourself, like I'm done with this habit. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm shifting things. You may be done with a relationship or done with a job or done, I don't know what you're done with, but you're done with it. That's what it feels like. No more. Putting the sock in it. This also, since it's puzzle pieces, could be like getting a piece that you've been struggling with to see, like understanding something in your life where all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, I get it. I see it. It's right here in the third eye. So it may be something that comes in intuitively through your third eye, in your dreams, through a spiritual download from your guides. You may be shown something several different times by the universe, little subtle things where you're like, oh, okay, like I've gotten this several times now. All right, I'm getting a clear sense of being guided. There's also, I'm drawn to the hand here too. So that's something that you may be doing with your hands, like you're building something, cooking something, gardening. You may literally be going to get a manicure, You may be being a helping hand to someone else, or somebody may hand you something. There's something about hands here. Um, Also, the blue eyes here opened. It just feels like that there's clarity, seeing things clearly. So it feels like it's a really good week in terms of being clear about what your life's purpose is, what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be, where you're not supposed to be, who's supposed to be in your life, who's not. There seems to be this sense of satisfaction. And like, again, something may be coming full circle, maybe the end of something, the end of your schooling this semester, the end of a project, something's coming to an end in a positive way. This person's also smiling. So it's like, oh, this is a good ending. So even if a relationship is ending, it's a good thing. If your job is ending, it's a good thing. So you may be moving into retirement, you may be finishing a degree of some sort, or finishing a class or something, of finishing a project. So it feels good, feels positive, feels peaceful this week, Capricorns. All righty, Aquarius. Totality card. This is throwing yourself in completely in a way where you feel guided to be, trusting that the universe is going to catch you. This is like getting a strong hit intuitively. This is the way I need to go. This is the direction I need to head. And knowing the universe is going to catch you, that this is the right direction. Definitely the sense that you've got help in spirit and in literal, like other people showing up to help you. But this is a leap of faith is required. This is a trapeze act, right? You have to like trust, put yourself out there. So there can be a leap of faith happening this week. Aquarius is going out on a limb in a certain way. And but it feels like it can feel invigorating. I also get this dark orange energy too. So it could be something also that makes you angry and propels you into motion. Like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I gotta leave, gotta move away from the house that's on fire. I need to run outside of the burning building, so that I'm not caught up in it. It feels like whatever happens, happens just like in the nick of time, that you're in divine right timing. As long as you don't override your intuition, if you listen to how you're being prompted to take action in your life, you're going to make a big leap of faith. You're going to make a change this week. And it feels super positive, super exciting. Adrenaline rush could be happening. But you're going to get caught. Like, this person is definitely here to catch the person going from one person to another. So there can also be an exchange that's happening. This week, Aquarius, as you may be taking something from somebody's house and taking it to someone else's house, kind of thing too. There could be some just sort of little literal exchange going on with something or someone. It feels healing. I'm really drawn to the tights this person has on, and their arms or legs are green. So it feels like this leap of faith is healing. So you may actually be going into some sort of support group, support system, where you've got people there that are supporting you. You may be calling up friends for encouragement and support. It could be just symbolic, not literal. That you're reaching out and finding that people are there for you if you just ask for help. It feels powerful this week for the Aquarians. And we have the Pisces. And it is beyond illusion. This is the third eye opening. This is our psychic insight, getting super spiritual downloads this week. Transformative, because it's the butterfly. It's taking you from one belief system and opening your mind to another. It's receiving downloads or insights. You may be getting information from a loved one that's crossed. Your spirit guides may be talking to you. You may be getting deep insight onto what this next phase of your life is entailing, what's important for you to be working on, thinking about. Meditation and spiritual practices seem to be super important this week. Again, I would write down your dreams this week. It feels like they could be super revealing. Trust your gut, trust your intuition. If someone is telling you something that feels off, I feel like you're going to know it super clear this week. The direction is definitely coming from your intuition, your higher source, your spiritual center. Um, I'm getting an activation around the nose. So I don't know if you're having like sinus issues or your nose is kind of clogged up. So there may be some need to do some like homeopathic remedies or some herbs or something to help yourself breathe. And there may be a resistance to something in your environment, an allergy, or you may be allergic to someone in your environment and needing some space away from them. I'm getting, it feels like you're wanting to be kind of off by yourself. You really want to find other butterflies. You want to find other people that are involved in transformative energy as well. Like you're not staying stuck, you're shifting, you're changing, and you really want to surround yourself with other people who are as well. This has a like almost an extraterrestrial out otherworldly energy I'm getting. So yeah, you may get some really interesting dreams or downloads about life on other planets, or you may be studying or learning about that. You may be abducted. I don't know. All things can be possible right now. It feels like that you guys might have a connection to aliens. I've never gotten that before with this card, so just saying, but that's what's coming through. Yeah. Important week. Whatever realizations, whatever insights that you get, whatever dreams you're having this week, I feel like they're super important and instructive about, like, it feels like the next phase of your life that's coming in, that you're getting some insights. You may be getting some foreshadowings for other people too. This may not be just for your own life. I feel very importantly it is for your own life, but you may get some hits, is what I call them, when you get psychic information for other people. Or from other people. You might be in tune with loved ones that have crossed and really feel like you're getting a connection with them this week. Beyond illusion, those words really stick out too. You're seeing something clearly. It's not a delusion. You're seeing something, but you're seeing it with your psychic eye. You're having a realization. Whatever's presenting itself on a physical level, I feel like you're seeing beyond it. You're seeing the spiritual motivation behind people. You're seeing what's the truth. That's what it feels like this week, Pisces. So, all righty, that's it. That's all 12 signs. Appreciate your long attention if you watch all of this. And again, really appreciate that you're tuning in. Love you dearly. Peace.